Hello, my peeps. I hope you're well today. I'm using today um, my original tarot deck. Yeah, that's fine. Four of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I started doing tarot like over 50 years ago, the summer that I was 13. I was introduced to it by actually a family member, and I just was fascinated by it. And when I went to sleep that night, I started dreaming in tarot. I pictured the Hangman card and sort of was in that position as I slept. Anyway, it really right away got under my skin, and I've been doing it off and on ever since. And what I like about it is, I'm fascinated by language and stories. The kind of archetypal stories that just persist because we're human and, have common experiences as we go through our lives. They're old epic tales that really we can relate to now because they're all about the evolution of consciousness. But I love the language of tarot. It really is a language. It has a syntax. It has different dialects. It has different nuances of how you could read it. It has a grammar, and I love it. So I'm just trying to read the cards for you and do a kind of simultaneous translation, like those guys at the UN who have the thing in their ear and they're hearing it in here and they're speaking it out in English or whatever is your mother tongue. So there's something about that mother tongue and language. And that bottom of the deck, Four of Pentacles, can be a card of holding back or holding on to something physical. Earth energy, Pentacles. Well, whatever it is, it's a struggle. I smile because there was a thing I think it was on Facebook, that said, this card depicts when you try to put up the tent after you've dropped acid. That just sort of cracked me up because it's a card of, being very purposeful, but kind of at cross purposes. And the end result is you don't really know what you're doing, and neither do the people you're working with. It's disorganized, it's haphazard. Wands are purposeful and about direction, but this is like the need to work something out. Wands energy. Practice. Practice to get it right. Oh, and there it is again, just not going to go away. Four of Pentacles. Maybe it's working out the feelings of insecurity. Maybe all these people are kind of holding back in their own way, not wanting to cooperate. This is a card of change. Five speak to change, and this is a card of like dynamic change. And this is pretty much the opposite. I'm planted, I'm stayed, I'm pinned down, trying to hold my shit together, maybe through this kind of change. So I'm contracted. Somebody is. When I say I or you or them or whoever, all that's quite fluid. And as we go, the story might make it more clear who we're talking for. But that's also something you can, you know better than I how you fit into this equation, if at all. Hierophant, Earth energy, card of Taurus. It can be the desire to change up, Five of Wands. This stayed earth energy that might have to do with, the traditional order of things, how you're supposed to do it. because Hierophant can speak to that, like, I'll tell you how. I'm the person who has the authority. I wear the hat. I have the authority to tell you how to connect to the divine. It can be a card of higher power, but it can also be that sort of controlling aspect of, this is how you do it. You want to connect, follow the rules. Follow the rules. What's the change, please? Okay. Wow, devil energy. That can be a card of being stuck in earth energy. Resistant, addicted to something or someone or some pattern. But this card of change, of changing things up in a way that is at first perhaps very chaotic. 5 in Major Arcana, this card of tradition. Devil, as much as anything, is the effort to free oneself, to get yourself free from a tradition or a habit or a codependency, something that makes you feel small. Small and stuck, but it's something that with effort and practice you can work your way out of this kind of fearful, insecure energy. Devil can definitely be just fear. What keeps us small, I keep getting, because it's like this is contracted down to, crunched down. Here comes Ro. Okay, go ahead. Keep moving. Miss Fatty Pants. Trying to stay stable in the midst of change, but somehow willing to work hard to get out of this kind of, you're enslaved to something. Somebody is. Could be an addiction, but it might be like a workaholic, or doesn't have to be substance abuse. Could be addicted to a certain pattern or a certain person or a certain system of belief that's comfortable because it's traditional. We've always done it this way. I'm too small to have a direct connection. I don't know why I keep getting that, to higher power. I mean, it's also like in the traditional belief system of many cultures, devil energy is considered the enemy. In the non-traditional, non-Judeo-Christian cultures, this is the god Pan, earth god. So I'm not sure. Let's see how that plays out. I mean, Pan is the earth spirit, is free. I think there was an oppressive, you were under somebody's thumb, or somebody was under somebody's thumb, and it really held them back. And now they're in a struggle to free themselves. King of Pentacles. It's full of earth energy here. This is Capricorn. Hierophant is Taurus. This is somebody who embodies the best of those attributes. Grounded, stable, reliable, trustworthy, present. It's almost like, my sense of myself doesn't depend on somebody else's rules and regulations. I'm struggling against that idea that I have to be confined or held back by by the rules. I'm going to work hard, Capricorn energy. Hard working, really. Capricorn just doesn't quit. Hard working at this business of freeing myself. Maybe from my own belief system, let's see. Yeah, moving on to a better state of mind, sword energy, to do with how I think and what I believe in, and, you know, how I let that carry me forward kind of through this liminal space. This person is pushed off from one shore and is headed toward the far shore, and they're in the midst. They're part way there. And we're always part way there. I mean, do we ever really arrive? If we think we do, it's at some cost. You know, here I am, I'll stay put. You know, I shall not be moved. Well, that's a card of movement. Out of stasis. You know, somehow freeing up our belief system. And that can open us up to this kind of energy from people around us sometimes, who are struggling against the change, like, put it back in the box. You know, straighten up, fly right. We'll have none of this. Liberation is at hand. Tell us about the devil energy. What is that exactly? It's almost, if it's servitude, it's a voluntary servitude. You know, it's staying small in order to accommodate somebody or something else. Four of Swords, well, we're healing it. Five of Cups, healing some sort of regret over something perhaps we feel like, Cups energy, we've left behind. But what's behind is Two of Cups. They're focused on, this person's focused on the three that are spilled. You know, in regret over what happened in the past. But it's, you know, it's basically just turn around. There are connections ahead that are healthier, you know. But it takes a certain degree of, I mean, I kept saying Capricorn is hard working. Well, this is resting up. And I think it's resting up after the struggle, after struggling against this, whatever was holding us down, holding us back. And it may be a kind of surrender in a way. Four of Swords, Devil. You know, something like, I'm not going to fight against my own nature. This is shadow energy. How do you heal shadow? By incorporating it, by not, you know, consigning it to the dark corner. That's when shadow kicks us in the butt. And this might be something like, I'll heal the regret, Five of Cups. You know, Sword energy, I didn't know. You know, when you don't, you can only change something when you begin to acknowledge it, when you pull it out of the dark place and really look at it. That's when healing becomes possible. That's when a new way of thinking about yourself and the world becomes possible. That's a way to incorporate rather than deny things that have made us sad, that we feel have passed us by. We're moving on. We're still in that liminal space. Tell us okay. Tell us about the liminal space, Emperor. Well, that's an energy of really taking control. This can be a controlling energy. But this is sort of controlling on the level of spiritual growth. Taurus energy, you know. And Hierophant sometimes would have us believe we can't do it ourselves. That may be the codependency, depending on some sort of organized, hierarchical, religious belief that says, you're not big enough, you're the devotee, not the teacher. Stay small. Both 4 cards. Emperor, 4 in Major Arcana, 4 in Minor Arcana. It may be somebody really taking control of their own mindset, you know, of their own way of thinking, speaking, and believing, and having it influence how they affect the lives of people around them for the positive. Emperor, you know, it takes good care of the people within their reach. It's divine masculine energy, doesn't mean it's gender masculine any more than this is. I did a reading once it was for a couple, where I divided the energies between the two. It was a private reading, and they were sitting right there with me, and the gender woman came up with Emperor. And I said, well, whatever your gender, you're the big boss. And some of her other family members were there observing the reading, and they're like, yeah, she's the big boss. She is. She runs the show. Give us another on Emperor. Because it also could be moving on from somebody who's controlling. 3 of Swords. Heartbreak, division, a state of mind that is kind of painful and it's the memory of the pain, because it's sword energy. It's to do with, you know, like the reverberations of what somebody said or of what they believed about you or what you believed about yourself. Some kind of self-limiting belief. But I think in this case, given that it's clarifying 6 of Swords, this forward movement toward a better way of being in the world, what you believe in, how you talk about it, how it directs you forward. And it's like forward away from just the memory of the pain, the memory, something in the past that somebody really regrets, that they missed the boat. Well, nobody's missed the boat. You're on the boat. Okay, tell us about 5 of Wands, 3 of Swords, the struggle to change. Okay. Justice. The struggle to change, the 3 of Swords, the painful memory. This is getting great clarity about it. Libra energy. Clarity about a relationship between 2 things. And it may be there may have been a bunch of people involved that were kind of gumming up the works. And this is a very stubborn energy. Emperor can be stubborn too. Like trying to guard yourself against people who are trying to influence your life or this person's life. But things are being recalibrated and brought into balance. 5 of Wands, not a balanced energy. it's really quite chaotic. But evidently somebody has clarity about how to get out of this stuck place, this kind of how do we put up the tent? And there are all kinds of conflicting ideas about how to do that. One more on justice, please. Card of Libra, a card of balance, a card of truth and clarity. Ten of Pentacles. I think this is sort of, because this card can go two ways as well. It's a card of family, home, can also be tradition, legacy. You know, we've always done it this way. We're all in agreement. It's established. It's, you know, it's a little bit like this. But I think you or this person has gained great clarity about, you know, how to recalibrate the relationships. And it may be relationships between you and your family, this Five of Wands, all these people saying, build it this way, no that way, this is my opinion. I think we ought to go in this direction. And suddenly you're getting clear. I think this is where you want to head. To that kind of stability, Ten of Pentacles. Not this kind, which is just stability through a refusal. I won't do this. I won't do that. This is like, we'll work together to build this common ground, earth energy, common ground. We'll work it out on Hierophant, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands can be reckless energy, but in this case I see it as like, if this is the staid way we've always done it, Knight of Wands says, not this time. You know, I'm a card of invention, intuition, and spontaneity. You know, I'm going to go my own way. You know, I'll break free from the pack. And there may be some regret in the breaking free, but it's something you're determined to work hard at, or somebody is, this earth energy person. They're healing their sadness over something they can't go back and change. They can only go forward to change it. You know, turn around and see the potential for a healthier connection. Because devil is not a healthy energy in many ways of reading the card. And since it's coupled with healing and sadness, I'd say, yeah, it's a... Well, let's see. On King of Pentacles, yes. Ten of Wands, closing out a cycle. Laying down burdens of great responsibility. Responsibility perhaps of working it out with this group of people who were gumming up the works. And I think maybe your reaction in the past, or somebody's reaction, was to just become intractable, stubborn. You know, screw that. I'm not doing it your way anymore. Fours are cards of stability, but Four of Pentacles is like too grounded, too stuck. Knight of Wands also Ace of Wands. I'm going in the new direction. Wands are directional. I'm going my own way. I'm going to do it my own way. Somebody's really breaking free here. It could be actually from a marriage. Or, any kind of higher level of commitment that's kind of state sanctioned or, somehow playing by the rules. The Knight of Wands is going to move quickly toward a new beginning, is inspired to do it, and do it fast. It looks like this person was like this for a long time, and suddenly, boom, they're not doing it that way anymore. They've laid down a burden, and it's not like they're destabilized because they're King of Pentacles. But they're moving away from the traditional idea, sword energy, of what's stable. They've discovered a new truth about it. On Four of Pentacles, this crossroad energy, it's a little bit like, let me sit here at the crossroads and consider it. I'm not moving until I figure this out. I've got a decision to make. I've got to work it out. I think for myself, not through all this hubbub and opinions of other people. So at a crossroads for a long time, perhaps for 4 years, Pentacles speak to time and, and place. So somebody was stuck in place for a long time, and now they're just, it's like they're popping a wheelie. They're moving in that new direction. I am the ace. You can't catch me. I've blown through the crossroads. I've unburdened myself, and I'm moving forward. 10 of Wands, 6 of Swords. I'm taking control. I want a little more on this Emperor, because it's a do-it energy. It's very much, it's in Wands energy. It's card of Aries. Wands energy, fire. I'm going to do it my way. Somebody may have really come into their power, their, that masculine energy of do it, do it. No more being tied to something codependent. No more being stopped in my tracks by indecision. 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords. Just give me a little bit on the Emp. Yeah, King of Wands. Fire energy. I don't know if these two kings are the same person, or if this is an internal balance between stability and innovation. Four of Cups. That can be a card of imagining the new love, the new connection. It can also be a card of refusal. I mean, you see how this guy has his arms crossed. It's another 4. I said, tell me about the Emperor, and we get 4 of Cups. He may have been passive before. It is a card of passivity. of non-action. Anything else on this? That was in the past. Moving on from that, they may have been immobilized by some memory of the past. Is it this? Is it this? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. We're mobilized before, by the memory of the past. And here's Empress. That's a big motivator for Emperor. And it could be one person becoming complete and well balanced. Somebody sorted out their feelings. Oops. Hangman. And while they were sorting out their feelings, there was a bit of this. Of depression or apathy. Because this can be the holdup. Card of Pisces. Water energy, feelings energy. I'm just gonna... Remember I said when the first time I was exposed to tarot and I went to bed finally very early in the morning and found myself in this position. And when you're in kind of 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups, Devil, 4 of Pentacles, all this stuck energy, this is kind of a useful stuck energy. I'll take this time to figure out what I feel, perhaps about my divine feminine, my counterpart. Nine of Cups. This is kind of the wish fulfillment of this person. When they take the deep dive, look at it from a new perspective, they realize that this person I miss is the person who's my fills every cup, ticks every box. I love them that much. They're my dream come true, and I want to cooperate. I want to build something with this person. 3 in minor arcana, 3 in major arcana, both in earth energy. This is a card of technically of Taurus and Libra, of balance and growth. Balance and growth. Balance, Emperor, Empress, who have been in separation. But, in separation it was hard, it hurt. Somebody may have been stuck in a belief system that they've outgrown. They've liberated themselves. They're on fire to do it now. They're all about doing it, taking control. I come out of this emotional deep dive of Hangman, Piscean energy. I've gotten the revelation about what brings me joy. Coming back in balance with your counterpart. A great amount of clarity. This is a card of epiphany, basically. You're immobilized. You hang there until you get it. And then you act on it. Let me build something with you. Build it. Earth energy in my life with you. Gaia, the one who grows things, the fertile ground. These guys are a match. And there's a chance, after all this time, to actually do it, Wands energy. Do it in 3D. And it will take time to rebuild. But things are looking good. Leaving the regret in the past. Moving on the fresh thing, the new thing, the viable thing. together. Three of Pentacles. Empress, Emperor. Yeah. That sounds exciting. And Wands, the Wands energies in here are all about excitement and revving it up. But there needs to be something that's closed out. To be fully present, King of Pentacles, something needs to be relinquished. Get out of the grip of codependency or addiction. I don't really see addiction here at all, except sometimes this can be indulgence, like even drinking too much. I don't think it's that, but if it is, we're moving on from that kind of dependency on anything outside of ourselves. We're each whole in ourselves, Empress, Emperor, and therefore we can work together. Nobody's too needy, nobody's too codependent, nobody's absolutely burdened by things of the past. So let's give it a go. It's kind of like that. Let's see how we can bring this into 3D now. Let's see. I'll see you next time. Boop! I love you guys.